Hey there, want to knock out a quick update video. Anytime I put anything out that isn't 100% correct or needs to be updated, man, I am on it. So took down another video here. Here is the most up-to-date on the shoot down. And I got this from the guy, no call sign, no name, but the guy. I'll leave it at that. The F-18, the Kuwaiti F-18, shot down the 3 F-15E Strike Eagles BVR, which means beyond visual range. He didn't see them. This was all taking place on the radar. WVR means within visual range. These were BVR shots. And I need to remind everyone that the Kuwaitis fly Legacy. They're called Legacy F-18s. These are older F-18s without Gucci software. They don't have Link 16. Right? So Link 16 is a data link. It provides some awesome situational awareness of the battle space. It's right on your display. There's friendlies, there's bad guys, there's airplanes, there's boats. They don't have any of that Gucci stuff. They also don't have Mode 4 interrogator capability. So obviously modern Hornets, modern fighters can tell what your squawk and what your transponder is. So they didn't have Link 16 and they don't have Mode 4. Again, these are legacy F-18s. So the ground controller in the AOC, the Air Operations Center, declared the Eagles as hostile. So this Kuwaiti F-18 pilot in there thinking he's doing the best for God and country, fired. And some people are confused. Folks, and I'll leave the specifics out of it, but the F-18, even the legacy models, can track and shoot multiple aircraft at the same time. One airplane can go take a look at a shot of a murder Hornet. I think 10, 12 AMRAAM or different types of air-to-air missiles. I don't think the Kuwaitis are flying around with that many missiles. But my point being is, yes, a single F-18 can track, monitor, shoot clearly these 3 F-15E Strike Eagles. One more thing to say here about this: the AOC, the Kuwaiti AOC, was under attack. They were under air attack during this time, and I'm pretty sure my source said it was during the same attack that sadly killed 6 of our servicemen and wounded others. So very dynamic environment, folks. They were the AOC was under attack, saw these contacts coming back from bad guy country, declared them hostile. Kuwaiti F-18 guy shot. So obviously shouldn't have happened, but not as much. I guess there is buffoonery involved, but not as radical buffoonery as I thought. Let me, those without sin cast the first stone, folks. The United States of America is not without sin in that region. I'm old enough to remember 88, 87, the USS Vincennes, a cruiser, one of our robo cruisers, was engaged in a gun battle with a bunch of Iranian gunboats. They were engaged in a gun battle, and all of a sudden an aircraft got airborne out of Bushehr. Now Bushehr in Iran was a joint use airfield, meaning civilian airliners and also military aircraft. So in the middle of this mature gunboat battle that the last time this happened was like Taffy 3 in World War II, the TAO, the tactical action officer, told the commanding officer, "Hey, skipper, because they got guns going on the deck. They're shooting at these gunboats and maneuvering the ship. Skipper, we got an unknown contact that just launched out of Bushehr and it's heading right towards us. And I've tried to call them a couple times on the radio, and they're not squawking." Or very dynamic environment in the Combat Information Center on the ship. "Oh, and by the way, skipper, they're descending right at us." Commanding officer of the Vincennes made the decision as the commanding officer in the best interest, to protect his sailors, and he shot him. Ended up being an Iranian airliner. Killed a lot of people that day. It was descending because it was taken off out of Bushehr, and I forget its destination, just on the other side of the Gulf. It was an up and down flight. So of course it was descending. Absolute horror. This is why you don't want to go to war. War is an absolute horror, folks. And sadly, mistakes like this happen, and it sucks. This is why, soldiers, sailors, Marines, Guardsmen, Coast Guardsmen, none of us want war. Why? Because we have to bear the brunt of it and put up with it. And this is why, if you've never heard me say this before, let me brief you for the first time. War is the ultimate failure of the human condition. It doesn't get any more of a failure for a human to have to pick up a rock and go bash another human skull in for whatever reason, fill in the blank. I mean, man, we're on a 4-year meat grinder in Eastern Europe right now. It's heartbreaking. But if war has to happen as the ultimate failure of the human condition, it should be as horrific and violent as humanly possible. Now, that might not sit right with you, and I really don't care. Why? Because it will end quicker. Instead of death by 1,000 cuts and years, man, horrific, violent, overwhelming force. I mean, I just saw footage of like Hunt for Red October stuff, man. A U.S. submarine just sank an Iranian ship in off Sri Lanka or international waters, man. Like a World War II type of footage here, man. Overwhelming force, overwhelming air power, sea power, subsurface power. Let's get this thing over with quickly so we don't have any more potential accidents like we saw with this Kuwaiti shoot down. Feel bad for the Kuwaiti dude. He thought he was doing his job for the motherland and country, but he might not drink, but he's going to be buying a lot of beers for these 6 Strike Eagle crews. Thank God none of them were killed. This could have been an absolute horror. This could have been mass murder. I think most of them escaped serious injury, and ejection sucks. It's like 10, 20 G's instantaneously when you pull those handles. There's a lot of sore backs. There's a lot of sore necks. I saw a video of one of the dudes in the back of an SUV. His hand was pretty messed up. I pray that guy, they fix his hand up and they get him back in a cockpit as soon as possible. So my son deploying for the Air Force here soon in a couple weeks. God bless the young men and women out there on the tip of the spear. The No Fallen Heroes Foundation and Sacred Warrior Fellowship is here to catch them when they get home. We are here to take care of our veterans, first responders, and their families. I pray to God this is over soon. My heart breaks for the 6 families. God bless the souls that we've lost. My heart breaks for those folks, those military parents. God bless them. And our foundations are here to help if we can. So have a great rest of your day. Like I said, apologize if there was any, man, I'm the last person who wants to put anything wrong out or even a shade wrong. So took those other ones down. This is the new one. This is literally up to date from the dude who's there. It doesn't get any more, what's your source? It doesn't get any more clear than the dude who's there. So I appreciate dude and the wife who saw the original video and told her husband about this. Thank you for keeping me on the straight and narrow. I love you, my brother. All right, fight's on. Namaste and Basi, Wiz out.